Okay, guys, so this is the last little part of what I wanted to go over with you. Um, and this part's pretty similar. Again, you just log in here, log out, just to make sure um, that this is indeed the case. If I select Edward B here, you notice there's no option for picking my terminal, so the KDE stuff's not installed in our installation here. So for that section in 2.3, just do the non-KDE parts. So that's the GNOME parts only. Uh, and finally, oh, and if your system happens to be set up that Control Alt F2 brings up your graphical interface and not Control Alt F1, just kind of go with it a bit. So usually though it's Control Alt F1 to get your graphical interface, your Windows thing that you have here, and I'll just log in to show what's going on and mess in the wrong spot. Alright, so the one thing you'll notice is going to take a minute the first time you log in for everything to happen here. It'll say GNOME didn't like things because the driver's not capable of doing a full GNOME experience. That's fine, just say okay, and it will still start. You just won't get, it's kind of like Windows and the arrow effect, that see-through thing. GNOME has a setting like that too, that in the virtual environment you're not going to get. So after another minute or so, you should see the menu bars appear up here. Gone the wrong way. Oh, look at that. And oh, there we go. Alright, let me take a quick look through the last of your lab here to make sure there's nothing that's jumping at me that's gonna blow up on you. I think we got all of the tricky spots covered. Alright, that's about it. So if you guys have any questions, you know to email me or just post a message in the course. Why that hasn't done anything yet, I'm not entirely sure. It usually would by now. Let's see. Let's what we do. There we go. Okay. Maybe I just didn't notice it. So here's our stuff. Just to do a quick rundown of some of the stuff that we installed by default, which is going to seem a little crazy. You do have a bunch of different accessories here. It's things from a calculator to a text editor to a file manager, to something to be able to take screenshots, to a thing to be able to change your passwords and manage passwords for a bunch of different stuff. You have a handful of games here. These are your, like, you got a Stuco, a couple of versions of Solitaire. Your graphics, you have an image viewer and an image manipulator. We also installed GIMP. And that's this one here. GIMP is very similar to Photoshop. I won't say it's as powerful as Photoshop, but it's pretty close. So that's actually a pretty high-end piece of stuff that automatically comes with our setup here. Firefox is installed. You have a BitTorrent client. You have a full version of Office, even though it's not Microsoft Office. It's a variant of OpenOffice. Um, some other things you're able to do: set up printing, software settings, play with your firewall settings. You're able to rip CDs, burn CDs, play movies. Your system tools allow you to add and remove software, uh, see what's going on the system, and you'll be using this a fair bit, this terminal sessions. And then there's some universal access stuff that lets it'll actually read the screen back to you. Haven't used this particular version of it, so don't know how well it works. Most of the other stuff I have used works pretty good. In this particular iteration, we do have a bunch of different folders, much like a Windows motif set up here, that lets you kind of jump around to where your files happen to be stored, and lets you run around your network. By default right now, I'm not sure if the network got turned on by default. So let's just take a quick peek if it did. Let's go to internet. Let's hit Firefox. I'm pretty sure it did actually, but we'll see for sure now. Yep, it did. Okay. So, and at this point, this virtual machine is online and able to do everything else that any real machine would be able to do. So that should give you guys enough to get you through your first lab. Remember, when you're asked to do stuff, if you're specifically asked to run a command or something like that, after you do it, just do the right control to turn the little green light off on the bottom part there. I gotta let you see that again. Hang on. My screen keeps resizing. Alright, so if the green light's on, I need to hit control, let the green light go off. At that point, I want to hit the Alt and the print screen button. I come over here and do a paste. And so anytime you're asked to specifically do something to show that you did it, this is your best thing to do. When it's all said and done, you can just email this or submit this particular file as your lab, and it, again, like I said, doubles as being your copy of or a log of what you've done. So if you ever need to go through the process again, you can open up this document and it will let you know what went on. Anyway, I hope that helps you guys get through the first lab. We'll be doing lots of stuff that's really like this. So, like I said in my post online, almost everything that we're going to do in this course, we're actually going to do on your system. So it's not going to be a lot of talking about it like the networking course was. This one's going to be actually going in and changing the settings and playing with the configuration files. And odds are we're going to blow our system up once or twice along the way. And when that happens, all you really need to do is you take um, the other system that you already downloaded and you just unpack it again. So when the system blows up, you delete it, you load up the new one, and you kind of go on as if everything was normal. So that's generally the trick. It's also the beauty of using a virtual machine. So it lets you do a lot of things and lets you play around with a lot of settings, and you don't have to worry about breaking things, or you can try 5 or 6 different configurations of something in 5 or 10 minutes, because you can get your system set up to a certain point, then kind of export that system. If you get your system set up to a point where you really like the settings on it, I guess I should show you that real quick. Where are we? Which one? What you need to do then, if I wanted to save this particular system, I go to File and I go to Export Appliance. That'll let me make a backup copy of that system just like it is right now. And it's one of the cooler parts about working with the virtual machines in general. I know. Keep in mind, that's going to be a pretty big file. It's going to be over a gig, because that's just the way it works. Anyway, last but not least, you should make sure you shut your machine down properly. To shut your machine down, you click on your login name here, come down to Shutdown and select Shutdown, and for right now, until told otherwise, just pick shutdown, and it will take the system through a full shutdown mode. It takes about a minute for the system to shut down, and you'll actually see it start to unload everything, and bang, there you go. If anyone else was logged into the system, you would be prompted for an administrative password in that spot to be able to shut it down, so that if more than one person was logged in, someone can't shut the machine down on them. Anyway, that's it for now, and I will talk to you guys later. Again, good luck with your labs, and I'll see you soon. Bye.